Okay, guys, today we are doing L.3 or L3, solve absolute value inequalities. Now, I do have the pen tool here, so we're going to get to work. Now, I can't really use my greater than or less than trick until I've isolated the inequality. Right now, the absolute value has something going on the outside. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide both sides by -1. Okay, so negative divided by negative is positive. So really the equation I'm looking for, working with right now, is absolute value of C and 5, -5 divided by -1 is +5. But when I divide by a negative, this greater than has to flip to a less than. Okay, now we have a less than. This is all isolated. Now I'm going to read this inequality as and. Okay, so we're going to solve for the positive case. C is less than 5. And now we're going to do the mirror image in the number line. Okay, so there's something happening on the positive side of the number line, and then the mirror image will occur on the negative side of the number line. So here we're going to have C. This was a less than, so we need to mirror that and go greater than. This was a +5, and we'll mirror that and go -5. Okay, so we have a greater than -5 and a less than 5. What that would be on a number line is from -5. I just put a 0 in the middle, and the mirror image on that side, we'd have a less than heading in this direction. We'd have a greater than starting from here heading in this direction, and they would overlap from -5 to +5. Now, the most efficient way to enter this, I can enter this entire expression up here, okay? But I can also say from -5, which is less than C, which is less than 5. That's a more efficient way of writing what I have up top. I just drew it to show you that this is the and statement that we should be writing. But I could have written this in with the word and still gotten credit. Okay. Now, we've got absolute value. It is already isolated. Okay, so what's inside has been isolated. I'm just going to do this down here. We have the absolute value of 6D being greater than 6. So this is isolated. We have a greater than, so I'm going to use the word or union. Okay, now the positive case, 6D is going to be greater than 6. Okay, now 6D, we're going to have the mirror image. So this was greater than, we're going to flip like we would in a mirror. There's the reflection, and then solve for the negative case. Okay, divide both sides by 6. We get D is greater than 1, or divide by 6, and D is less than -1. Okay, now we'll go ahead and enter this in. My preference is I always like to put the things that would be on the left-hand side of the number line first. So D is less than -1, or union mean the same thing. D is greater than +1. Okay, let me just clear this. Now I just remembered why I've been writing a lot of the work above the problem. Now, this one is not isolated yet, so we have to do a little bit of work here. So here, the absolute value is here, but there's a +4, so I'm going to add 4 to both sides. That's going to give me absolute value of U is less than or equal to +3. So this is isolated. It's a less than, so it's going to be an and statement, less than. Okay, the positive case, nothing changes. U is greater than or equal to 3. But now we have to do the negative case, and the negative case is the mirror image. That's less than, so we're going to need a greater than. So we reflect that on this side. This is +3. We need to work the negative side of the number line. So greater than -3, less than +3. So you're going to see something that's going to look like this. Close circle at -3, close circle at +3. We'd have a line extending from here in this direction, overlapping with a line extending this way in that direction. So from -3, less than or equal to u, which is less than or equal to 3. Okay. Now, little wrinkle here, but nothing we can't manage. Now we have more going on inside the absolute value. It's not going to change the process. So, but the absolute value at this point is isolated. Okay. So we have absolute value of y plus 6 is less than 1. So this is a less than and statement. Y plus 6 is less than 1. That's the positive side. Y plus 6. Now we want the mirror image, the other side of the number line. So this was less than, this is going to be greater than, and we're going to set it equal to the opposite value, +1 and -1 there. All right, now in both cases, we're going to subtract 6 from both sides. Okay, this is going to give me y is less than -5 and y is greater than -7. So if this was a number line, -7, -6, -5, okay, we have, again, the middle or the 0 would occur at -6. We need to be less than 1 unit away on either side. So y is less than -5, open circle here, line extending in this direction. Y is greater than -7, open circle here, line extending in that direction. They overlap between -7 and -5. -7 is less than y. 7 is less than y, which is less than -5. Okay. I think I gave you guys a target of 80 today. This is going to take a little bit more time. When you get to the higher scores, they can get really challenging. The process doesn't change, but they may have some things inside the absolute value where what's inside the absolute value is negative. You still approach everything the same way. Take what's inside, set it equal to the positive case. Take what's inside, flip the inequality, and set it equal to the opposite case. You never change what's inside when you set up either case. But let's continue moving forward. I think the video is already at 8 minutes right now, so I want to move this along. So +8 plus 8, that gives me the absolute value of v is less than, less than 15. So v is less than 15, and less than would be and v, we flip and solve for the opposite part of the number line. Okay, now that would go from -15, which is less than v, which is less than 15. Okay, this would be the same, it seems. Adding 9, we've got absolute value of q is less than 13. So absolute value is isolated, q is less than 13, less than, intersection, take what's inside, flip, solve for the opposite. Notice we never change what was inside the absolute value. It is what it is, but set it equal to the positive case, and then flip for the opposite case. All right, so this is going to be from -13, which is less than q, which is less than 13. Hey guys, I'm going to start making a video for L4, and good luck today. It will take some time. It will be